Hi there, Aries. It's Raina. This is a video for June 2018 tarot reading. And the reason that the cards are already laid out is because I went 5 minutes into the reading and heard a jackhammer. And I was even noting at the beginning of the reading that I was a little bit nervous because I could hear a drone of some machinery in the distance. I still feel like I hear that drone, but anyway, I'm going forward with this because you're the last sign that I'm doing and I don't want to leave you high and dry. So please forgive me if the jackhammer starts up again. Hopefully it'll be muted on your end of things. So, by the way, this is a spread that I just concocted for this particular month and this particular type of general tarot reading with a general focus. So hopefully you'll appreciate the change of pace if you've watched my videos before. If you'd like a private reading where I'm using astrology in most of my readings rather than the cards, please visit me at rainamoonastrology.com. I have the link below. And the reason that I really enjoy doing these tarot readings on YouTube is because they lend themselves to this type of format. You know, the visuals of the different pictures, and then on top of that, you have how symbolic the cards are. So I feel like I can reach more people by doing it, you know, by doing a lot of tarot readings. I mean, to kind of show you my stuff. And anyway, the card I'm holding up here is the card of the Empress, and this is kind of like the what would you call it, the heart of the matter. And the Empress is the Earth Mother energy. It's connected to Taurus and to Libra. So if you have any of these people in your life, that may be kind of going along with that. But also, the Empress, is, as the Earth Mother energy, could be about Aries women who are contemplating having children. And the thing about it, you might say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, for Aries, it's especially a big deal for Aries women, or even Aries men thinking about having children too. I guess you could say that the Empress doesn't have to be just physically giving birth, but nurturing a child and being responsible for a child. My feeling is that it's always wise to really deeply think about things when you are debating whether or not to have a child, because it is such a major responsibility. Even if you're having a pet, think about it first. Because it's a major responsibility to have a child. And sometimes we do have to question ourselves. Why do I want this so much? You know, is it really because I think that, you know, raising a child would be an amazing adventure? Am I going to be there for the child? Am I, you know, or is it because it's just like a feather in my cap? It's just like something I can cross off my bucket list. You know, I hate to be that cynical about it, but I do feel that children deserve that type of real deep thought before getting involved in the whole process. And for some people, this may be exactly what you're saying. For Aries, it's like, I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't want to lose my sense of individuality. I don't want to be one of the herd. Everybody has kids. You know, maybe it would be better if I don't have kids, but I really want them. And kind of going back and forth like that. So the other thing that this card represents is creativity. So the artist, you know, the person that wants to live their life as an artist, but the world, the universe, or well, I'll just say the world, not the universe. The world doesn't support artists. I don't feel that the world does honor that as a path. Maybe if you're from France, that's not one of my top countries of viewership, but tell me if they honor in Europe, or anybody, anywhere in Europe, if they're more accepting of an artist as a way of, you know, being an adult, you know, as your profession, let's say. Because think about it, when you went to the high school career counselor, did they ever say, hey, would you like to become an artist? I doubt it. They usually have these tracks, and it's like, you know, depending on your major. If anything, it would be like, well, you know, dear, you can become an art teacher. And so anyway, having said that, there may be some kind of creative project that you are really involved with. I mean, I could go on, but I just wanted to give you a few of those possibilities. The Empress also connects to love, being you know, the planet Venus being connected to this card. So that may be something that is part of your reality in June, that you're deeply in love with someone. So let's look at the past positions or the past influences coming into the month of June. And if you're watching in May, these may be future cards for you. One of them is the Four of Wands. This is the card of marriage, the card of a new home. If that means anything to some people, you know, going along with this theme, you may be saying to yourself, I'm ready for this. Maybe you're like in your late 20s, early 30s, and you've had your fun, and now you're ready to... It's funny. Listen to the way I just said that. You've had your fun, and now you're ready to settle down. So we're saying that that's not fun. But with the Four of Wands and the fact that you're a fire sign, which is a Wands type of energy, Aries, you may very well be married right now and feel like you don't have that enthusiasm for your relationship. Maybe your home life isn't that nice. And so you're looking for that now. Maybe you have held off on having children because you never quite felt that you were with the right person. That's always a possibility. And we have the Six of Swords, which is leaving a situation that is no longer, well, that is full of conflict for peaceful shores. Okay, well, that goes along with that domestic scene, Four of Wands. Maybe you're saying, I don't have that now. So I want this in my life. So how am I going to get it? Am I going to get a happy home life by staying in an unhappy marriage? Is that going to work out for me, or do I need to leave that situation? I'm getting this over and over again, and I have to say that there are people that I know that have been married for decades who have called it quits or who are separated. This is something that is going on in our society. Now, why is that happening? There's thought that because women no longer are financially dependent on men, for the most part, that they aren't obligated to stay. People are tending to live longer, and they feel like, why should I, doom myself for the rest of my life for a situation that's unhappy? Why shouldn't don't I deserve happiness? And I might have 20 years left. I might have 30 years left. Why should I be in a terrible situation for one more second if I don't have to be? So the feeling that there's no stigma with divorce, that they can support themselves, and that they are deserving of happiness. I think the last one is the one thing that I am happy about, that people are at the very least not feeling like they don't deserve something because of their negative self-talk. That people are really rising up and saying, I deserve more than this. It's always sad when people share a history of many years and then they leave one another. But perhaps that was what they were there for, that they were there to teach each other, and then they stopped having reasons to teach each other. Then we have to the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of lack consciousness. Okay, so that may accompany that feeling of like, you know, you may be taking steps to better yourself and still feel like you might not get what you want. And that's because you may feel like you're too old. There's not enough out there that you're looking for. If this is a work situation, the same thing would apply. Leaving, but still being afraid. Usually Aries people that I am aware of, they tend to be pretty courageous about making changes, even major changes. But that doesn't mean that after the fact you can't have that sense of doubt. Okay. Now the middle row is going to be what is coming in for you in June, or the current, you know, the current energy in June. And when I slid them out, I forgot which order they are. It really doesn't matter. They're all for the same purpose. The Fool card is that you are starting over in some way from ground zero. And I think that for Aries people, this is a card that really describes to me how Aries people conduct themselves. That they are not looking before they leap. That they're very much interested in adventure and very much interested in new horizons and not, you know, wallowing in the past. And so the Fool card is perfect for Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. The Seven of Swords can indicate that, you know, I don't know if this was right under the Six of Swords, but it can indicate that, in some cases it can indicate deception on a person's part. But in this reading, I think that this is more of a card of independence for you, where you are doing things on your own. Now, if you had to leave a relationship, you may kind of sneak out of there. You may find that it's very hard to leave in an open way because the other person may be very possessive. The Five of Pentacles, maybe that's a Taurus person that you're dealing with who's very possessive, and they are, you know, they've got their hooks in you, and you know, going up to them and saying, I want to leave, wouldn't end well. So you just figure, I'll just slip out the back jack. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is that card, what I was saying, that having financial independence to be able to do this. And not, so there's not like this, there's not this anxiety about the money situation. Now there may be some Aries people that are still like kind of triggered by that and feeling it, but the real truth of the matter is that it's not reality, that you do have enough money to support yourself and you don't have to worry about that aspect of life. The advice, or what's coming in as represented by the King of Pentacles, again, this is a wonderful card of financial mastery. The King is the ultimate in the power structure. So this is like you at the top of your game financially. Maybe this extends into career, although this could be a person that you are involved with. If this is a job situation, it's possible that you're working in a banking environment or in a business that sells goods. You may go into business for yourself. Perhaps that's what the Fool card represents, that you're going off into an unknown territory for yourself. The King of Pentacles would indicate that you have the financial resources to bank this, or that you will be given them by like a banker or somebody in that line of work. You may be dealing with a mature male energy that is Earth, so Taurus. Again, with the Empress is connected to Taurus. And Virgo, Capricorn. Capricorns, to me, are the ones that tend to attract Aries, because you're both cardinal signs. Then we have the Strength card, confidence. Maybe confidence returning to you. You know, unlike the Five of Pentacles, you may be feeling more secure within yourself. Aries, you feel like you can, maybe you're getting your confidence back. Maybe somebody that you were with influenced you to be full of self-doubt with the Five of Pentacles, a lot of worry about not only finances but self-esteem. And now you have this sense of feeling secure. The Strength card connects to Leo, which is another fire sign, and that might be somebody you're dealing with. And the Death card. And I did pick an additional card because I did get the Death card. The Death card is about irrevocable endings. So with that Six of Swords in the top row, you may have separated from a partner, and now you're like, yeah, it's over. You may have had this time to be by yourself, and you realize that you are strong. You know, the separation gave you more strength, more feelings of self-esteem. And so you realize that that person was actually detrimental to you. I think that happens more times in close relationships than we even realize, because we're so brainwashed to think that relationships bolster self-esteem when sometimes they can really, you know, suck it out of people. And the clarification card I got was the Hangman. So this may be that you are in a state of suspension, that there's a lot of activity, a lot of, well, let me say, a lot may transpire in June for Aries people, but then maybe towards the end of the month, you are kind of more subdued and you're more in passive mode than active mode. Maybe you've done all that you can do and now you're just waiting. If you haven't met anybody, a new person, you're waiting for the right person. You're not settling for less. If you haven't, if you've got, maybe you started your own business and you're waiting for it to start turning a profit, but you're not jumping the gun and thinking, oh, this isn't going to work. Because that's something that Aries might be a little bit too rash and just assume that it's not going to work when they haven't given it enough of a shot, you know. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that some of this at least resonated with you. And if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Take care. Bye.